So I found a baby. Maybe 10, 20, probably about 30 feet away. Over there. Little infant. Eyes still closed. Looks too big to be a mouse baby. So I want to say it's a squirrel baby. Like a mouse baby with its eyes closed. You know, so newbornish that it still has its eyes closed. Probably wouldn't be this big. I'm gonna give it some powdered milk. See if I can raise it. Call it Jerry. And this is maybe 2 days after I found Jerry. Found a rattler. And this was in its belly. This is a mouse. That's its head. Kind of dissolved. The answer, I found this morning. It's kind of a gruesome thing to show. But nothing really goes to waste. Partly digested mouse. The ants love it. That's the rattler. Had to dispatch it. Poisonous snake, so really not that bad. So right there is the squirrel. And right there is the squirrel's nesting tree. Well, the tree with a large nest in it. So what may have happened here was the squirrel was nosing around looking for some beetles or something. There's a lot of beetles around here, large beetles. And I'm thinking that's where squirrels get most of their calcium from, is eating the beetles. That's what we feed Jerry. Jerry turns out to be a squirrel. A lot of beetles. But could be that it was snooping around looking for the beetles, digging through the pine needles, and the rattler was over here and bit it, and it died. Or if Jerry's a mouse, then the rattler finds Jerry's nest, eats its mom, and Jerry escapes, because the rattler's full. It's filled up on the moms, so Jerry walks away. Just starts crying because he's hungry. So that's another possibility, Mama squirrel, snake with a mouse in it. It's about 20 feet distance. And then, 20 foot from that snake / 30 foot from this squirrel was Jerry. So it's like a mystery triangle. What is Jerry? Jerry's name is Squirrel. Jerry Squirrel, even if he is a mouse. So I'm just going to be giving it some Pedialyte for its first meal. Some powdered milk. Some heavy whipping cream. Got a nice round belly. So this is Jerry's cage. Canning jar. Put an old sock for the lid, so it gets air in there, and the rest of the sock's in there. Just some shredded paper towel, cotton balls. I woke Jerry up from a nap. I just slipped this whole jar in the sleeping bag with me at night. And he'll kind of crawl around through this stuff to find the warmest spot, you know. So he always ends up on the part of the jar that's, you know, touching me, my body, because that's the warmest part. Now he's starting to get a little chilled, so he's like, what's up with this? I was keeping this in my coat, you know. Put in my coat for warmth. But while I was having my coffees, now it's time to pop them in a boiler. It's a little warm. The fire's died down. Since it's like 50 degrees, it's cold enough to want to keep it warm in here. So got a little, did my coffee inside rather than the outside stove. So that's the water line right there. And Jerry's maybe an inch above it, and he's loving it. And if that was too warm for him, well, he's got these little claws, and he can climb like crazy. It's just like his ability to climb does make me think he's a squirrel. So I've never really seen a baby squirrel, so let's just kind of see what this thing turns into. But yeah, he can climb like crazy. But he's just like, I'm just gonna sleep right here. I'm loving this. I do a little pipette. Got the heating pad going. Sunny out, so got electricity to spare. And Jerry loves the heating pad. Set to medium. Jerry just woke up from a nap. It's bean time. He must well, I took the cover off. Got, you know, a blanket and had the cover. I keep the cover on it just in case he ends up climbing out. So maybe he felt the cool air, or maybe he heard my chair. His eyes are still closed. Oh no, Jerry's eyes! Jerry, your eyes open! OMG, Jerry, look at that! You've grown so fast! Wait, is it open? Yeah, it's just barely open. Hey, Jerry! It's me! Yeah, Jerry's eyes are opening. So it's about feeding time. Every 4 hours or so, and if he's overeating and getting diarrhea, he likes to overeat. It's just like he'll do 3 syringes of milk. He'll end up getting diarrhea, and then I'll put him on water for a while. Yeah, so it looks like Jerry's a mouse, not a squirrel. If he was a squirrel, his eyes wouldn't be open until, oh wait, no, never mind, 5 weeks. So he may be a squirrel that's 5 weeks old. And then at 6 weeks, he should start curling his tail up. So that mama mouse and the mama squirrel, neither of them had a black tail like Jerry's got. Jerry did, oh, he kind of curled his tail right there. So maybe he is a squirrel. Jerry did wrap his tail, so I promote him to pee and poop by, you know, dabbing him down yonder with a Q-tip. This is how it should look for a squirrel. Well, a healthy squirrel. Mustardy color and, you know, semi-solid. You know, not like a turd and not like a, you know, like a rock turd and not like a runny diarrhea. And he wrapped his tail around the Q-tip once, which is kind of cool. So this is Jerry, possibly a squirrel, maybe, you know. You never know. He's so small, you know. I'm going to look up what baby mice and squirrels look like. But right now, he definitely looks like a mouse. He likes to shove his head into things. And now that his eyes are open, I mean, it's still only like partly open, but both of them are partly open now. He opened them last night. Seeing if he likes the real world. He's still kind of scared of it. So I think he's 5 weeks. And then at 6 weeks, you should start introducing solid foods instead of just the milks. And then by like 10 weeks, he should be fully weaned off. No. Yeah, maybe 10 weeks. 10 to 12 weeks, he should be about 3/4 the size of an adult. That's if he's a squirrel. He likes to chew on stuff. So he's got the red around the reddish sable fur around the mouth. Grayish brown back hair, but it should be light grayish brown. And his is pretty dark. So if he's a squirrel, he's 5 weeks old, and he'd have to like double in size over the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks. But finding that dead mouse in the rattlesnake's belly, and that's how dark the fur this thing is. Jerry is. I want to say he's a mouse, and not a squirrel. And they just have similar developments, maybe. I mean, he seemed too big to be a mouse baby. That was with his eyes closed. Now his eyes are open and he's still real small. It's kind of like a... And he should be more gray, lighter gray. Light grayish brown rather than dark grayish brown. And now that his eyes are open, letting him see the real world. You know, he just wants to nap. Well, I just fed him. Keep him to like 12, 13 weeks. So another 2 months or so. And then let him go. And if he's mouse, let him go further away from the shack. Maybe down by the lake. Because, you know, the mice right now aren't an issue around the shack. They may become an issue, so I may start setting traps for them. Right now I set out food for them. I'll let the ants and the mice get the scraps. He likes to burrow. He shoves his head in places. He likes to squeeze it to the tightest possible spots. Yeah, I think he still wants more milk. I gave him 3 pipettes. He was wanting 4, but he started getting a little bit of the runs, so cutting him back to 3. And maybe I'll give him some water after this little outing, just to rehydrate him. The runs, dehydrate.